Great Debaters Contest is brought to you by Safaricom M-Pesa.
Thank you for tuning in to the Great Debaters Contest, the best show this side of the Sahara. I am your host, Mariam Bishar.
And I am Austin Yambok. Our motion is media censorship is necessary to enhance national security. Our teams are St. Joseph's Girls and Sugoi Girls, who will emerge victorious.
We'll let the debaters take the stage now. Proposal number 1, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, my beautiful audience, I'm wondering how could someone doubt that media censorship is necessary to enhance national security? Seriously, people, national security is an issue of national and international discourses. It is in this recognition that I, Diana Amoyo from Sugoi Girls High School, and hopefully the future Minister of Security, stand here to strongly propose the motion that says media censorship is necessary to enhance national security. What is censorship? Censorship is the act of removing part of a book, a film, or a movie, or even a report that, if released to the public, it will cause a negative effect. And what is national security? I will define national security simply the way Ekoko of Nigeria in 2004 defined it. First of all, he classified it into 2. The strategic national security, which includes the military, and the non-strategic, which is the socio-economic security. And then, after combining all this, he came up with a very simple definition. National security is the ability of a nation to defend its internal values and citizens, to protect its internal values and citizens from external and internal threats. Now, my first point is that we have to censor the media to prevent incitement through the media. Now, which one of you hasn't heard of incitement through the media? Just let me see your hand. I don't have a gun. I will not, there's no way I can harm you. Let me see your hand. Which one of you hasn't heard of incitement through the media? Seriously, people, it is through the media that religions are incited against each other. Tribes are incited against each other. Are we going to continue with this? How blind are we to this fact that through media, if the media is not censored, we will be inciting each other, and at the end, what do? We cry. We cry. There is violence. Our children are dying day in, day out. For how long are we going to continue with this? My second point is that we have to censor the media in order to avoid creating false alarm, to the citizens. They are innocent. We are the leaders of tomorrow. And if we censor this media, we are trying to protect the future of tomorrow. Take for example the recent attack in Garissa. The television, the radio was censored. Yes, we were not shown the brutal pictures of the attack. What about the social media? The social media was going viral with pictures of students lying dead in the classrooms. And then what happened? What happened in Nairobi University in Kikuyuni? What happened? What happened, my people? It is through the media. Then because of this false alarm, one of the students lost his life because of a simple electric fault. He lost his life. And also, many got injured. My people, we have to censor the media. We have to censor the media. Thank you.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes for your opening statements.
Now, if you chase 2 rabbits, both of them will end up getting away. From St. Joseph's Girls High School, I'm Mercy Chepnyano. To my personal point of view, which one is more important? Which should be our priority? If we're able to eradicate insecurity, there'll be no need of media censorship. Now, if there'll be media censorship, insecurity will still be there. What is our priority? 2, it is my right as a Kenyan citizen to know what is happening in the country. It is my right to express what I think is happening in the country. Now, if you censor the media, you're denying me this right. You're basically telling me I can't talk. You're basically telling me I can't know what is happening in Kenya. A very, very wise woman once told me, if you move alone, you move fast. If you move in numbers, you'll go very fast. Very fast, sorry. Which one is more important? Displacement or velocity? It is better I go very far at a slow rate than going very fast but not very far. Choose. Through the media, we're able to think together as Kenyans. We're able to be unified. If you censor us, you're telling us that you can't talk together. We're supposed to keep quiet and put our point of views to ourselves. Also through the media, investigative personalities, for example, John Allen Namu and Muhammad Ali, are able to investigate. They're able to help the police, saving them on resources, time, and what they're going to be doing in order to find these people. They're basically fighting against insecurity. If you censor them, how are they going to do this? Also, the media, both the social and the mass media, they help us in that we're able to be taught on what to be doing in case of any insecurity or any terrorism attack. If you're going to censor the media, how are you going to know how to react? How are you going to sense that if you go to public places, for example, the malls, that there will be no attack? Through this media, we're able to know what is basically going to happen, how to suspect that something wrong is going to happen. And also, in the Westgate terror attack, it is the first ever in the history whereby these people basically told us that they're responsible of the attack. It is through Twitter that they tweeted us and told us that is the Al-Shabaab that they were responsible for this attack. Now, if you censor them, the police will waste time. They'll waste resources looking for the people who caused this. Now, finally, I'd like to finish by saying, if you're going to censor us, we're going to be in darkness. Stay in darkness, move nowhere. It is basically very painful that I stand here and repeat this motion over and over again. Many people have said, and they've said that media censorship should not be censored. It should not be there in Kenya. From St. Joseph's Girls High School, we refuse this motion. Thank you.
We'll now hear rebuttals. Proposers, you have 3 minutes.
Well. Wonder shall never cease. How can you tell us that revealing brutal and merciless information to the public will enhance national security? This is Calvin Chepkway from Sugoi Girls presenting. To my first point, national security simply appears to be the protection of government officials. Why do I say so? This is because in pursuance of realization of this security, media people are being forbidden from revealing information that does not favor those who are in power. We all know that our leaders are always the main target during attacks. To my second point, it avoids revealing secrets to the public. Take, for example, the case in 1984 where Tundo Thompson and Nuka Ikabor were being arrested and charged for publishing facts which were regarded by government as the official secrets. My people, tell me, we should do this censorship so that we may protect our leaders, we may protect people from being charged. Thirdly is that it avoids invoking people to get angry. This may lead to people involving themselves in clashes and violence. For example, the case in 2007 and 2008, it was due to hate speech which led to people having clashes. Thank you.
Opposition, time for your rebuttal. You have 3 minutes.
However much I remain silent will never mean that I'm dumb. And the whispers underground are much more of harm and misery than good. Fiona Mutene of St. Joseph's opposing the motion. First, is it about the security of this public figure, or is it about the security of the citizen? Media inciting Kenyans to do something bad. Has that happened in Kenyan history? Has that happened in Kenyan history? No, we've never seen any incitement done by the media, and it has gotten to happen. It has happened. I remain to be a Kenyan, I remain to be a Kenyan when the media says something and I'm against it. I am proudly Kenyan when I remain saying I'm a Kenyan despite the media inciting us. You shall never feel well. Never will you feel well. So when you get this saying that we should censor the media and say that they should not reveal to us certain information, then it will never become successful. We have to know what's happening in the country as a citizen. And no matter how long a crocodile stays in water, a log stays in water, it will never turn a crocodile. The wars remain the wars. Insecurity, terrorism. And thanks to the social media, the Kenya Red Cross collected one of the largest rain in history. 6,783 units of blood was collected during the Westgate Mall terror attack. Number 2 was the $783,000 collected within 76 hours to enhance security in our country, thanks to media. And to inform you, it was Daudi Were, a Kenyan citizen, not a public official, was the first to announce to the whole world that the Westgate is under a terror attack. So, we should, the false alarm created by the media, has it happened? No. But at least we know that it can happen. It has never created any false alarm unless proven that there is no attack. But to stand, we still say, when we say that there's going to be a terror attack in universities, we still have to remain still proven that they're not going to come. We keep waiting, but we'll still continue waiting till that thing will never happen, which we can't know that. What I'm going to say is that public figures, Muhammad Ali, we've been told everything about the Garissa terror attack. We know everything that's happening as Kenyan citizens. All over the world, we have to know. And if you say that the Kenyan media should be censored, we can't know what's happening within our country, but all over the world, CNN is announcing the same reports. We censor Kenyan media, but the whole world is watching what's happening within our country. So, we remain as Kenyans, fight within our Kenyan boundary, and wait and tell the whole world what we really do. Thank you.
M-Pesa makes life have no pressure. You can send money from here to wherever. Costs are low and you can pay whenever. It works for everybody, discriminates nobody. M-Pesa brought a revolution, a kind of technological evolution. Safaricom being a better option, I can't help but mention how M-Pesa is a state-of-the-art perfection. M-Pesa drives me crazy because it's so amazing.
Take part in the M Challenge by sending your short song, rap or poem about Safaricom M-Pesa on WhatsApp, and you could win 1,000 shillings in Safaricom airtime.
The proposers have been asked, do they have proof that leaders are the main targets of terrorist attacks? And the opposition have been challenged, in the event of a terror attack, would they wait for news bulletins or tweets or to look up on Facebook to react appropriately to the situation? We'll let them respond to the questions. Proposal number 3, you have 3 minutes.
Yes, leaders are the main targets during attack. Why do I say this? It is because in Kenya we find that leaders are the main people who are rich. The richest people in Kenya are the leaders, and most of them are rich because they are corrupt. We know that leaders are corrupt. This is why I'm saying that leaders are rich. They are also rich because they take part in many activities. They are not only leaders, they take part in also other activities. So leaders are the main target. It is because they are the richest people in Kenya. My first point is censorship should be done in order to avoid revealing secret information, sensitive information, which if it is delivered, if it is revealed to the public, it will help the public, the rate of insecurity will increase. This is because the terrorists will be aware of the let's take for an example, Kenya are importing equipments which are supposedly to be used for curbing terror. It will be difficult for Kenya to use these equipment to curb terror because if media reveals the usage, the effectiveness of this equipment, the people and the terrorists will try and find a way to curb this, to counter the effect of this equipment. And they might also steal the equipment so that they are not affected by this equipment. So So media censorship is necessary in order to avoid the public to be aware of the sensitive and critical equipment that the government has bought. My second point is that media censorship should be done in order to protect those people who win money in lotteries. For example, the Bonyeza Ushinde na Safaricom. The person won that promotion. If his information, if his personal information was revealed to the public, what effect will that have been to the public? Are we not human to go and take part of that money that he was given? We will find a way to rob and get part and get some of that money and be able to we will try and rob, and we will find ways in order to get our hands on that money so that we can be rich also. We are all human. We don't expect that we will sit there, just see him, clap for him, appreciate that he has won. We will try and go and find a way in order to get that money. We will rob that person. That will increase insecurity. Also, those people who are witnesses in court, if we don't censor that information, if we reveal the information of that person, the person who is being witnessed against, that person will try to silence that person, to silence him, not to be against him, not to give evidence against him, so that person they'll not find cause in that person to be charged or to be even arrested. You know, if we reveal information about a person, that person will be at risk. If that person is valuable to the economy, he will be at risk because the public will want to silence that person if that person is rich. Thank you.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes to respond as well.
Okay, thank you so much for your question, an interesting question. I'd like to also ask a question. Which one is better, prevention or cure? I guess prevention is better. That's why we are saying media should not be censored, because that's, before you reach that situation that you're in that room that is under attack, in most cases there are some information. There is information that warns people. For example, there was information that warned the Garissa University that there is going to be an attack in that place. If we had taken heed of that information, we could have prevented the attack from taking place. Another thing, another situation that we have prevented the attack. For example, right here in Eldoret, there was a rumor that in the social media that the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital was going to be under attack. What did the government do? The government took heed of that information, and some military men were deployed to that place. So therefore, and later there were two people who were arrested concerning that incident as terrorist attack. The media therefore should not be censored, because there are the media helps the government to act seriously. Because if you are in this room and there is an attack, you get the information that there is an attack here. You call the police, and I guess there is the number of the police. So when you call the police, it will enable the police know that you are somewhere here and there is an attack that is ongoing. Thank you.
We'll now hear closing submissions, beginning with the proposition. You have 1 minute.
My beloved audience, I don't want you to lose the point like the way the opposers are losing the point. We are not denying you the information. We are just not telling you the information. The part that we know, when we give it to you, it will harm you, especially psychological. The Garissa attack, you want to be shown the real thing. Isn't that so? Okay, we show you the real thing. If you were a parent of a student in the Garissa attack, would you want to see your child lying in that classroom, eyes wide open, the face of agony? Is that what you want? Is that what you want to see in your televisions every day, Kenyans? Kenyans, we are going nowhere. We have sometimes to disguise the face of evil in our society, to protect our economy, so that our economy can move forward. Thank you.
Opposition, you also have a minute for your final submission.
Facts have been laid. Much has been said. Not telling me something is kind of the same as denying me information for your point. Now, it is through this media that we know the government is doing something. It is through this media, basically, the National Security Council tells us what they're doing to enhance our security, to eradicate insecurity. Therefore, this media brings advantage that we know we are here, that our government is working towards security so that we cannot be attacked by any terrorist or any problem that can hinder us. Also, I have said, if you censor the media, stay in the dark, be in the dark, and go nowhere. Now there's no point of continuing debating this point. Facts have been laid. Work with facts, not probability. Thank you very much.
I wanted to hear from Sugoi girls, what kind of censorship are you proposing? Self-censorship or some external form of censorship? We have regulatory bodies when we look at media. And there have been a lot of bills that have been passed which have raised a lot of debate with the kind of direction that media is going. St. Joseph, again, very good job there. Mercy, you start us off well. You give examples of investigative reporters and the work that they have done in the country and all that. A good beginning, and you're very passionate about what you're saying. Fiona, again, you come across as being very passionate. At some point, I wondered whether we were safe in here, because you were very passionate about your, what you were saying. Valerie, again, good use of local examples, but I penalized you heavily for poor use of time because you had so much time to be able to complete your submissions. All the best to the two schools, but that doesn't mean that your team did not do a good job either. You also did well.
Addressing Diana and Mercy all together, I think the two of you make very strong, fast speakers to kickstart your teams, and that was very, very well done. Diana, you're very confident, lovely submissions, relevant examples, and I love the passion that you have when you're giving, especially when you come to the end to submit the last position of your team. St. Joseph as well, the same thing, very confident, lovely submissions, relevant examples, excellent submissions as well. Valerie, it was a fair submission for your team. There was a lot of tempo that was raised by the first two speakers. Of course, you yourself, you come across as a mellow speaker, but however, it's good for you to keep the tempo, so just work on your passion and delivery, and also time, utilize your time for, well, so that at least your team is at par. All the best to the two teams. Thank you.
I want to talk to Diana and Mercy. Diana, you are my favorite debater on stage. The way you defined terms was quite unique. I've never had somebody define terms like that. Truth be told, you're a great public speaker. And if you just keep on practicing, even if maybe you may not go to the nationals, you have a great future as a public speaker. I need to address Mercy. The thing I remember from your presentation is we deal with insecurity and censorship will not be necessary. And believe you me, I thought the debate could just end at that particular point. Calvin, time utilization, I think has been mentioned was the problem. Metrin, misrepresentation of facts. Valerie, again, time utilization. Nonetheless, fair presentation. But to the two speakers, you're awesome.
Sugoi girls, the judges awarded you 66.7%. St. Joseph girls, Chepterit, the judges awarded you 68. You are our winners for the debate.
We congratulate both teams for a wonderful job, and we'd like to see more debates like this. We thank you for watching, and we also like to give our thanks to Safaricom M-Pesa and to KBC Channel 1. Go on Twitter and hit that follow button. Our handle is @GreatDebatersEA. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. I am Mariam Bishar.
And I am Austin Nyambok.
The Great Debaters Contest was brought to you by Safaricom M-Pesa.